We're going to talk about the 4 rules to always be fundable. Obviously, it's very important if you're a business owner, entrepreneur. You need to be fundable on demand. All right, my friends, let's jump into this. So rule number 1, if you want to always be fundable, because let's be honest, as a business owner and as an entrepreneur, sometimes you need to be fundable from a personal standpoint. For you, your family, sometimes you need to be fundable as a business owner, as an entrepreneur. And so the foundation of being fundable begins and ends and starts with your personal credit. You must have your personal credit under control. You must be focusing on it. I remember after the 08-09 recession, my credit score was down below a 500 FICO score, and it had just absolutely been destroyed. And I knew as a business owner, entrepreneur, I was going to have to get my personal credit, so I started focusing on a weekly basis, working with different credit repair tactics. How could I get new strong accounts set up? How could I build that up? And all that focus paid off, and now fast forward and I've secured millions and millions of dollars in funding for real estate investments, millions of dollars for the multiple businesses we run, 7-8 figure businesses, and that's how important it is to be fundable, because you never know when you're going to need to be fundable. Obviously, you want to have lines of credit, business credit cards on tap that you can access for opportunities, for emergencies. But again, that all happens because you understood the importance of building that personal credit foundation. What that means is on a week-to-week basis, you're always checking your credit. You have your budgets, your automated payments, and hopefully you've got the MyFigures software to make sure you're managing your personal and your business budgets, and you know when those payments are due. You have the automatic payments set up. But that's how important it is. You have to be managing this on a daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly basis, because that's how important personal credit is. That means you understand your credit score, utilization. Credit card balances need to be paid down as much as possible when you're going to be applying for any type of financing. And if you do, max those out for business purposes, because you have a proven proof of concept and you know that by investing X amount of dollars here, you're going to generate a lot more sales into the future. That makes sense. That's okay. And then as the money comes in, you pay those card balances down. Your credit is in a fundable position. Rule number 2, focus on increasing sales. If you want to be fundable, what's the number one thing that every lender is going to look at? They're going to look at your sales trends. If your last 3 months of business bank statements show that sales are going down, who's going to want to give you money? Does that make you fundable? Well, unfortunately, very few lenders are going to be happy with you. They're going to be like, your sales are going straight down the tube. I don't want to give you any money. That makes you way less fundable. The exception to this would be if you were in a season-based business. Let's say, for example, you run a business where you do a bunch of Christmas lights every Christmas, and so out of season, not a whole lot of Christmas light installations are happening, but during the Christmas season, you get super busy. Well, that's understandable. But for most businesses, if you're not a season-based business, then you better be focused on increasing those sales, or at the very least, keeping them consistent, because anytime they start to decline over a 3-month period, you're not fundable. Now, rule number 3, take care of your business bank statements. You can actually be growing your top line sales, but you won't be fundable if you do a horrible job of managing your business bank statements. What does that mean? Well, it means that you keep a decent average daily balance. There is nothing that makes you more unfundable than bouncing checks, than bouncing payments, than putting your bank balance at a negative balance below zero for the day. You do that and you are no longer fundable. You must manage your bank account. If you can't pay the bill, then don't pay it. Talk to that person, talk to that vendor, communicate that you need extra time, break things down into smaller, more manageable payments, and focus on generating more sales so that you can take good care of your business bank statement. That's why even people who maybe don't do a great job of personal credit, but they manage their business bank accounts very responsibly, can get funding all the way down to a 580, 600 FICO score because of how well they manage their business bank statements. And the 4th rule to always be fundable is cash flow is king, right? You can actually bring a lot of money into the business, but then if your business tax returns show that you lost a fortune, you have zero cash flow in the business, you're not profitable. Are you fundable? Not nearly as much as you would be. For example, if you show some profits on the business tax return, then you're going to be much more fundable. You're going to be able to qualify for SBA and other types of loans. Whereas if you're showing losses because you have no cash flow, that puts you in a tough position. Not only that, but your business bank statements will show that, right? You can actually be increasing your business bank statement monthly deposits, and your sales are trending up and you look so good. except actually you're taking out more than you put into the business bank account in terms of sales expenses. You have no cash flow. No one is comfortable giving you money because you don't have enough money left over in the bank account at the end of the month to be able to pay a loan back. And that also makes you not fundable. Cash flow is king, and having that cash flowing is going to be a big factor in you being fundable. So to recap, number one, master your personal credit. Number two, focus on increasing sales. Number three, take really good care of those business bank statements. Keep them positive, keep them growing. And number four, cash flow is king. Keep the money flowing, keep the cash flow increasing, and you'll always be fundable. Come on back, share this with other entrepreneurs, and let's win in 2024.